Today, having a clear faith based on the creed of the Church is often labeled as fundamentalism, whereas relativism, that is, letting oneself be tossed here and there, carried about by every wind of doctrine, seems the only attitude that can cope with modern times. We are building a dictatorship of relativism that does not recognize anything as definitive, and whose ultimate goal consists solely of one's own ego and desires.
When Cardinal Joseph Ratzinger spoke these words, he didn't know that his life would change dramatically the very next day. On April the 18th, 2005, he celebrated Holy Mass to open the conclave. The next day, he was elected Pope. He took the name Benedict XVI. More than 20 years later, his warning about the dictatorship of relativism seems to have already become a reality in Western society. Yet Pope Benedict's prophetic gift had already become evident much earlier.
When you read the text Ratzinger wrote in the 1960s and 1970s, you can't help but notice his analytical gift, a kind of precision that is almost frightening.
Being a prophet isn't necessarily a pleasant experience. Anyone who reads the Old Testament will see that most prophets haven't had an easy life. Quite the opposite, in fact. Ratzinger not only possessed analytical gifts, but was also deeply rooted in faith. By gauging and evaluating the trends of the times, he foresaw many things and recognized the long-term consequences they would have.
In the late 1960s, Cardinal Ratzinger wrote, and I quote, "We have no need of a church that celebrates a cult of action in political prayers. It is utterly superfluous. Therefore, it will destroy itself."
Cardinal Ratzinger, Pope Benedict, often spoke of how it is not first and foremost important that I do this or that, but rather that I first let God into my life and then, out of faith, do the things I have to do. That changes everything. That's why I share your opinion, your critical remarks.
I was just quoting Ratzinger.
Yes, I share that view. And that is what is so prophetic about Ratzinger, that, unfortunately, this has become more and more of a reality in recent years. Ratzinger issued warnings, or rather, he made suggestions and took the initiative. However, he was very often simply blocked for a variety of reasons, especially during his time as Pope.
Und aus verschiedenen und verschiedensten Gründen, auch und gerade in der Zeit als Papst.
Other friends and former companions of the German Pope, such as Swiss Cardinal Kurt Koch, have also found that history has proven Ratzinger right on many issues.
He
foresaw many problems we have today. For example, back in the 1970s he wrote, "The battle for humanity is being fought today through the battle for family." That was very prophetic. That is exactly what happened. But his theology offers us new perspective and answers to today's greatest challenges as well.
When people think of Pope Benedict today, many feel that he's not appreciated enough.
Oh, there are several of his works that remain. They are surely reread in the next years to come. And there is his great testimony, his life, as he was a person who believed deeply in God and who tried to do the will of God in all the different circumstances that he did not look for, but that were given to him.
I think his legacy is a deep theology that shows us that reason and faith are not opposed to each other, and that our intellect, our brain, our head, our heart, our soul, that they all belong together, and that we should search for the Lord and that we search for Jesus in all of this.
Ich glaube tatsächlich, dass wir
I truly believe that we will reach the point where he will be declared a doctor of the Church, and I hope so too.
Bei EWTN haben Sie es zuerst.
You heard it here first on EWTN.
Joseph Ratzinger, Pope Benedict XVI, never was a pessimist. Even though he had foreseen most of the challenges the Church is facing today, he also saw the opportunities. In 1969, Joseph Ratzinger wrote, "The future of the Church, once again, as always, will be reshaped by the saints, by men, that is, whose minds probe deeper than the slogans of the day, who see more than others see, because their lives embrace a wider reality."
Und für Papst Benedikt, für Joseph Ratzinger war
For Pope Benedict, for Joseph Ratzinger, the very fact of holiness, that there were people who lived like saints, was always the best proof of the truth of the gospel. Not theological conclusions, not logical arguments, no matter how clever, but rather faith lived out and embodied in a person. That was what mattered most to him and served as his model. The point is that we must not lose either our faith or our courage, and that we must truly believe in God's providence.
der Vorsehung Gottes zu glauben.